All right, what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Wait for some people to get in here, and we'll dive in. But we'll wait. We'll wait for a little bit. What's up, DJ Trev? How you doing? How's life? XXI in the building? You are in the building. I don't know what building. If this is if this YouTube live stream is a building, you're definitely here. Working, Elmo AMA, 1.5 hours away. What do you mean? That's not what I saw. Half an hour. Half an hour away. Yeah, like 20 minutes, right? What I see on here, video chat starts today at 10:36 for some reason. I saw 10:36. I was like, what? Like, what? 10:36. How do you buy Elmo? Let me put it in the. You can either buy it on Bitmart or you can buy it on Uniswap. You've been asked not to ask the tough questions. What does that mean? You've been asked not to ask the tough questions. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, any question should be asked. It's called Ask Me Anything for a reason. If you're talking about like asking like blockchain related questions that maybe they don't know the back end data or back end information behind it, maybe they have certain people for that. I sort of understand, but any question should be asked. And maybe you're just joking. I don't know. I hold it in Trust Wallet. Bought it on Uniswap with ETH. I had to buy a little ETH to purchase it over $100 worth of Elmo. Yesterday, I moved some ETH from my MetaMask to Coinbase, and it actually only cost me $2.50. So I was a little shocked with that because I was like, the last time I moved, it was like $20, and that was like the day before. So yeah, I was shocked because I got it back to my Coinbase and I had $600 or so. I moved $602. So it costed me $2 to send. It means the guy hosting is a marketing guy, not the developer. But he'll probably be listening as well. I think it was a joke. You think it was a joke. You can't say I think it was a joke. It either was a joke or it wasn't. You're the one that said it, so you can't say I think it was a joke. Oh, you think it was a joke. The other person that said it, don't ask the tough questions. That was a joke. Got you. I'm a little slow here. It's 10:19. It's not early. There's no excuses, but I'm gonna try and make an excuse. Are meme coin securities, according to Matt? Gary would agree. I'm sure he would think that everything is a security, which he has basically said everything besides Bitcoin is a security. So he doesn't really have a ton of logic to back it up. I mean, he's kind of throwing out. He's trying to do what people do with an author's vision. An author can come out and tell you exactly what they mean, but people will read into that book and say, no, that's not what they meant. They're trying to hide a different decision. This is really what the author meant. It's like, no, the author is telling you, this is what I meant. And they still are like, no, that's not it. This is what they mean, because you can see that he's implying this. And the author again is like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. You're dumb. So I think that's what the SEC is really doing. They're trying to kind of, pull definitions out of something because maybe one thing aligns. But I have 11,000 Elmo tokens. Is it enough to make me a millionaire in the future? Well, it all depends how far Elmo goes. I don't know why my nose feels like it's dripping. It all depends how far, Elmo really goes, how much burning we see, how much volume that we see. I would think that Elmo has a lot of potential moving forward because of the fact that you see all the burns, aggressive amount of burns. But what we want to see is the CEXs start to adopt some of these things. So the burns that we have, if they adopt a um, uh, the 10% burn or a 6% or whatever percentage burn, just do anything really, then it factors into what the volume will be. So give me 1 second. Let me go and blow my nose. Um, it's bottomed out and already wait and ready to explode. Bitcoin, not the BNB one. 11K is decent amount. It's still early. It is really really early. You never know what it's going to be. So honestly, that's where I stand with it. If you think that this is going to be absolutely massive, and I mean it shows a lot of things. It shows a lot of potential to be at those levels, especially with again all of the burning. Um, the hype around meme coins right now. And hopefully it can be much more than just that. But right now, all you need to do is build the volume and build the interest, right? Do I know anything about DRC20 tokens on the Doge chain? Not much, no. Not if anything, really. What is Elmo and Pepe? Haven't watched in a while. So Pepe is a meme coin. Elmo is a meme coin. Pepe was something that ran based off of kind of word of mouth, people or a community coming together and saying, look, we want to buy this position and we can make so much money out of this position. We can make millionaires. You can make people make $10,000, $100,000, or just a little bit something extra on top of what they bring in that month, which feels good to be able to have that. And that's what really meme coins are all about, is bringing people together to be able to create something that um, it could be worth a hell of a lot more. And who would have thought that it would be worth billions? But then once it was worth billions, people were like, this could be worth tens of billions. And that's just what you have, is people continue to push this thing up, continue to hype it up, really. And meme coins are all about hype. Now, can they build any type of use case or a community behind it to create even further strength? That's really the question, right? Because there's a ton of plays out there that are memes built off memes, and they don't really have the popularity or I guess sustainability, the ability to hold some of these prices, hold some of these market cap levels, and give it time to create some sort of use case, be a $100 million project, be a $1 billion project. Um, so that's really what they are. Now, eventually, maybe they'll create something in the end of you know what what that project will be able to do use case wise or anything there, but it only time will tell, right? You're gonna have to live it out to be able to see that. Is ETH fee on Sesame Street as bad as it is in Frogtown? I mean, the ETH fee is bad either way, right? Oh, usually. I mean, like I said yesterday, it wasn't that bad. If they didn't adopt a 1.2% of Lunic, what makes you think they will 10%? So the point is that they already have it on there. So if you're gonna launch on a platform and you have offers from, let's say, different exchanges, um, you still want to go about the full process. And if you're going about the process to where you're getting started and getting and launching on some of these places, then you could basically say, I want to launch on your platform, but are you going to adopt the 10% tax, or are you going to adopt a tax? If you're not, then we don't want to be on your platform, type of thing. And we'll wait it out to give you some time to think about it and everything there. So it's going to be a point to where you first see one doing it, right? And now you're seeing Bitmart that already has adopted a tax. It's not the 10% tax, but it is a tax nonetheless. So with them being able to adopt it, you see $230,000 that's going through Bitmart, and $230,000 going through Uniswap. So they have a tax associated with it, and all you need to do is go one by one by one to make sure that they have a tax associated with it. So if they don't, then you just don't go on that platform, right? And it may be a loss to them, it may be a loss to you when it comes to volume. But the point is that you're sticking to your guns and making sure that the tax is the main purpose of this overall position. The 1.2%, Lunic is already trading on those platforms. So now you're just asking them to update their trading fees, or not update their trading fees, but update their taxes that they would have for that specific position. And you don't really have to, because you didn't agree to that from the beginning. So it's different here, but you still have to find a way to get them to adopt it. And the crazy thing is they have communication. The coin itself has communication with the exchanges to get the offer out there, to make sure that everything aligns right the right way. So that's the best way to do it, is if you're taking it exchange by exchange by exchange, you can adopt the tax, right? Bitmart didn't adopt the 1.2% tax for Terra Luna Classic, but guess what? They have a tax for Elmo ERC. So it shows that exchanges can do it and are willing to do it. They just need the community to come together to know that this is what it is. And Elmo is supposed to be a deflationary position. Terra Luna Classic is not supposed to be a deflationary position. It was made, the 1.2% was to recover the chain, recover what once was. But this is meant to be this way. That's the difference maker. Can you do a quick review on Swift Coin? It's a micro cap, already listed on Coinbase. I'll probably have to do it a little bit later. We do have 69 people here. If you guys want to hit the like button, please do so. It does help out the channel. We currently have 14 likes with 69 people that are here. These meme token keeps regular folks from transacting on the network when they push gas up to levels so affordable by regular people. Good morning, Matt, and good morning, everybody. Unaffordable. I was going to say unaffordable by regular people. Yeah, it's the first meme coin season. It's your first meme coin season, and it's insane. Yeah, I mean, this is not even the largest that we've seen within a meme coin season. A lot of people believe that Pepe is really just getting started, that we're going to see that Coinbase listing, and then when we see that Coinbase listing, we're going to see the bigger jump, because they're going back to like SHIB, and I don't know if it's 100% true, but duplicate. So they were going back to SHIB in some videos that I saw. Let's go over here. We'll show Pepe, and then we'll also show Shiba Inu. I forget what his name was. I just saw him last night and I commented on his video. But anyways, they talked about Shiba Inu and looking at all history or looking at there, you can see the pump, and apparently it was listed, on Binance first, and then you see the larger pump when it was listed on Coinbase, and that's really how that came from. Now I don't know if that's really true because I thought it was listed on Coinbase after it hit the level of 0.000089 or something. So I don't know if that's 100% true, but they're talking about that and how when you would see a massive pump, right? You have all the history where this is the Binance pump, it decreases down, starts to level out, and now you see a Coinbase pump that comes into play. So Rodney, there you go. For some reason, I drew a blank. So Rodney, I was in the chat. I said hi, but no response. I only said like 2 messages, and it was late for me. I had to get out of there. And I didn't want to cause too much of a ruckus. There's always people that, either like me or hate me. And if there's people that hate me, they continually comment about me, and I don't really want to make a live stream about me ever. I want to show up there and just say, I appreciate what they're doing and, show some love and then get out of there. So it's never about you guys in the comments. I do appreciate you guys, and I won't respond to you guys because I don't want to make the chat about me. I know that the chat is the most important piece of a live stream, and if I'm chatting with other people, then it makes the chat about me, and the person that's actually live streaming does not have much to go off of besides talking about me as well, and I don't want that. So I want them to continue their live stream and do what they're doing, but just show some love as I get there. They already burned 60.5% of the supply. Yeah, they burned a lot. Elmo has burned a lot. Go back here. So they've burned a total, of 60 plus. Because you're looking at 60.05 or 0.5. You're looking at 395 million that's out there versus where they started and where they what they initially did in order to get it to 50%. And then within that short period of time, you burning over 10% of the supply is fantastic. And then not to mention what they're going to have with staking. I mean, staking is going to be absolutely big as well. T minus 6 minutes. Get that level. We get that level of Elmo and Pepe. The lady will get that level of Elmo and Pepe. I don't know what that means, but I appreciate all you guys being here. If you haven't had a chance to hit the like button, we got 82 people here watching. All you have to do is take 2 seconds, maybe even just a second, and scroll down, hit the like button. If it's in full screen on your phone, turn it sideways, and then just click the like button and then turn it back. It'll take like 2 seconds, maybe 3. I know this phone was still alive at this point. Oh, yeah, you got about 3 minutes until things start. I see DJ Trevin there with his YouTube channel in his bio or something. I got to get on you. I'll keep me muted. Got 26 people in here. If you guys want to join the AMA, I have the AMA in the description. One thing about streaming, if I'm using my camera,
Hello guys, and welcome you.
if I'm using my camera on
We
here,
are going
I
to
can't use
wait
my
on Mazda a
camera on
little
another
bit.
place, so
Have
it's
patience.
not really gonna work. Happening here. Starting to hate this wire because I have my
Please, I would
my
just
mouse right
ask
here.
everybody that is not speaking right now to mute their microphones.
I have my microphone.
Okay, boss.
We're on mute. Sometimes I feel like I'm not muted though, like even though it says that. We got 44 people here. Please consider joining the channel membership, starting only at 99 cents a month. Yeah, definitely go ahead and do that if you guys are interested. If you guys have any questions that you want to ask, feel free to, either
Let
go
me
over
just
there, ask them yourselves.
call the real boss, Mazda, real quick. 1 second.
You can ask them yourself, or you can, put it in the chat, and we can get it over there at some point. Wonder if this is going to be too loud, the desktop audio. Hope not. Weren't we talking yesterday about what if the folks who on Sesame Street could sue and have this project shut down, but they would need to know who's behind the project. They would need to know a lot of stuff. One, they would need to see some success from it so that they can probably take from that success. But you would also need to have a way to actually shut
So,
things down and show that people
50
are
people,
profiting
so
from this.
please mute your mic. We don't want to hear you eating.
Yo, how's it going, guys? I just put the chat on 30 seconds, so I can read actually the question. If somebody can just confirm you can hear me at least.
We can
Yeah,
hear you.
I can hear you.
That's good. That's a good start. Let me see if I can record this stuff. Hey, I can. That's cool. Start recording. Only audio. That's what. Oh man, big buy. Boom, boom, boom. Good start. Anyway, audio title record. Hey. All righty. Cool.
It's
Okay,
the
guys,
same as
welcome.
Simpson and SpongeBob.
Good to have you here. So
it's always a question.
Today is kind of like it's kind of an update from our side, what we're doing, right? And also in a way that you can know and feel reassured that we're not messing around with you, that we're serious about this thing, and also that we're serious about pushing this to $1 and above. Obviously, in the bull market, it can go that way easily, in my
Hit the
opinion.
like button, guys.
That's why we build the tokenomics that way, right? The longer you hold, the more value you'll get for it. Don't expect a 50 times overnight, because that doesn't happen often. It happens, but you have to be realistic, right? So let me just start with some updates. So first of all, we are very happy that we're listed on Bitmart, right? That's a good start. Even though we actually expected them to, that's what was a discussion in advance, that they would charge 10%. And in the end, they said that they can't do 10% when we already signed and paid. So that's when we, kind of went to 6%. Anyway, the good point is that we still tax, right? That's the whole idea. Because if we wouldn't tax on Bitmart, then the whole burning process would just stop because people would just go to Bitmart to sell, right? And they wouldn't bother selling anymore on DEX. And so it's not 10%, but it's 6%. It's pretty good. And on top of that, you basically get some kind of reflections in USDT, which is pretty cool. I don't know if you guys got it yet. I didn't check if we received it. From my understanding, from what Bitmart said, the distribution is done T+2, which basically means trading plus 2 days, right? So we should get it within 2 days from the launch, which is tomorrow, 10 a.m. UTC. But yeah, Bitmart is a good start, definitely. The volume has been great. If you look at the volume, if it's about market making volume, which was created, it's about 100K is kind of market making volume. So volume which is not taxed. And the remaining volume is basically organic volume, right? So last 24 hours, we've seen 200K of organic volume, which is pretty damn good. Especially considering that basically every buy is a sell, because people on the centralized exchange, they buy from sellers. So we'll see how much we get. We should get 5% from that. And the idea of it is that we will buy back from DEX and we will burn it, right? That's the idea behind it. We will obviously be very transparent about it. We will show you a report, showing you guys, proving what we received and what we can buy back. And that's maybe also why people wonder why only Bitmart until now. Well, that's mainly because I don't want to, and the team doesn't want to list on an exchange that doesn't charge tax, because it doesn't make sense for our tokenomics, right? It would
100%.
kind of kill the idea of Elmo. We want to burn that shit down, right? We don't want to, just become a token with no real tokenomics behind it. We want to continue that burn. And that's why we are not listed on MEXC, for example, because we do have an opportunity to list there, but they don't apply taxes, right? And that's also
Which
the
is
reason
crazy to
why
me.
we are like kind of patient. We're waiting for exchanges to come to us. We have multiple offers, but those are like tier 3 exchanges, right? They don't help that much. But yeah, that's kind of the update on Bitmart, right? So if you hold there, you can expect USDT as a reflection within the next couple of days. Then if it's about steak, everybody loves a good steak, right? I mean, I do. Medium rare, bit of salt, bit of garlic, a juicy steak. But what is the status with staking? It's that it's in development. It's close to done. The UI is done. The contract is done, but we want to test it first properly before we actually put it out there. We don't want to have a situation where you guys are staking your tokens and after 43 days we find out that you cannot withdraw them. That would be kind of shitty, right? Then we kind of are fucked. So we don't want that. That's why we're going to test it. We're going to let the Block Safu company do an audit on it as well, just to be sure that it's all good, right? But I expect staking next week. Yeah, I expected it a bit earlier, to be honest. But, it's not good to expect things early, especially not if it's about blockchain development, because all kinds of stuff can happen, right? So yeah, just be patient with that one. It is coming, and it will work in a way that it's 43-day lock. So you cannot withdraw your tokens. It's basically stuck for 43 days. You gain 3% and 7% is being burned straight away. When you click stake, it goes to the burn wallet. So when we launch stake, we can actually see a nice increase in burn. You might ask, how long will we be able to use the system? Well, it depends on the demand. If we see that a lot of people are going to stake, it might
Hey,
not be
Jonathan.
forever. I mean, tokens are not unlimited. But the idea of staking is exactly to support those that are early mostly, right? And to also motivate people to buy Elmo, right? To stake, burn, and it's pretty cool. It's a good idea. It's a cool idea. And it's definitely worth, it's definitely a reason, in my opinion, to buy, right? When a token that is just launched less than 2 weeks offers such utility. I mean, that's a pretty good sign. And then another thing is NFTs. Same goes for NFTs. The contract is ready. The NFT minting platform is ready. It will not be on OpenSea. It will be on our own website. So basically, you buy an NFT, and you'll get it straight away into your wallet. And it's kind of like a lottery. There's going to be 1,000 NFTs, 2D, all going to be unique in a way that they have different traits, different as well rarity. So aftermarket possibilities are there, that when we really go for that massive pump one day, people might want to run for those NFTs, right? Because they're just cool, they're Elmo. So that's also going to happen pretty soon. I just hope that staking and NFTs will both still be in May, because the NFTs are also important for us, because all the revenue will be reinvested in the project. And the main focus there would be on improvement of the liquidity pool. So we would add more Ethereum and more Elmo to the pool to make the price a little bit stronger, and the price development as well. A part will be used for a buyback to also make up for that OTC fuck up, right? We're going to buy back some Elmo, we're going to burn it. And we're not going to do that straight away. I mean, you have to be smart with buybacks. You don't do buybacks whenever, right? The same goes with the USDT, which we receive from Bitmart. It's not like this that we have it and we straight away do it, because we have some big holders, and it's good to always have a reserve in case one of the big holders decides to dump everything at once, right? So that's kind of the moment when we want to do the buybacks and the burns, when the price is low, and we can buy more and burn more, and we can also assure that the wheel dumps are being covered partially, at least, right? So we're going to build up a reserve. The wallet is going to be generally known to you guys, so it's all transparent. You can exactly check where the Ethereum is going, and we can explain what we've been using it for. Another part of the NFTs is, for example, also going to be a reserve for potential centralized exchange listings, right? Because those fuckers are expensive nowadays. I mean, only MEXC, you need to have 100K or 70 to 100K, right? I mean, it's a crazy amount of money, but it's worth it. Not MEXC in this case, because they don't do taxes, but any other exchange, right? We're going to figure out Huobi, for example, as our next, because I think Huobi is a even more decent exchange than MEXC, and we're going to try and figure out if they do the taxes. From my understanding, they do. So, I mean, if you can list on Huobi with taxes, that's going to be an amazing step forward, right? And we just have to figure that out. We have to apply officially, because we had contact with Huobi, and after a long discussion, we very closely verified those people, and we figured out that they were very good scammers. They sounded really extremely convincing. They even had documentations from Huobi and everything. But yeah, they were scammers in the end, so we didn't go ahead with that. What else? I mean, it's going pretty damn well, right? That's how I see it. I mean, some people might be stressed that we're not passing the 3 cents, but I would look at it in a different way. We're keeping that floor pretty damn well. We have our tiny dumps, and then the dumps are being bought, and we are stable. That's great, and that means also that there is at least 2K holders with us here that really truly believe in what we're doing. And that's how we want to continue, right? To build a strong base of diamond holders. And that's why the tax is exactly important, because the tax also kind of protects us from, those spot trading bots and whatever, or just whales that just want to take a 10% profit. They don't do that on our contract, simply because, it's not that easy with the tax. But for the rest, I'm satisfied. The team is doing great. I know that I'm mainly the one speaking here on the chat and everything, but I'm not the only person on the team. We actually have a team of 6 people, but others are doing, other things on the background. All right, somebody is trying to steal the show. Who is that? Nobody's trying to steal the show. All right, that's fine. I'm actually here as Elmo ERC announcement, I see, but I'm actually Master Elmo. So, hey, somebody is not muted, guys. Anyway, what we're gonna do now, I'm just gonna, if you don't want to ask the question like on the on the voice or something, you can just ask your question on the chat and I'll answer them.
But
I'm open.
I would love, sorry to interrupt, but we would love if we could have an interaction here in the voice chat with you guys. So don't be
Yeah,
shy. Please go on, ask your questions, and we will try to answer them all.
yeah.
I
If
won't
you
be
want to
shy.
sing, you can also do that. I love people that sing.
I won't be shy.
Oh, go ahead.
So I was just thinking about the whole the MEXC
Yeah,
and the fact that they don't do taxes. That's kind of weird to me because they did the 1.2% tax for Lunic,
yeah,
and you would think that they would be all for this, but it's kind of
yeah. But I think it's a matter that they're maybe not entirely yet, sure about the project. I mean, if you're
mhm,
going to break that 40 to 50 million market cap, then they might consider doing that, right?
okay.
I think it's just a matter that there's so many projects right now out there. The like the not Pepe, because Pepe is obviously much higher, but you have some projects which are kind of following Pepe's way of doing, and they're all around the 10 to 12, 15 million market cap, right? And many of those projects they actually will disappear after a while,
Mhm,
and maybe they're not sure about Elmo yet, and we have to still prove ourselves. Because I
yeah,
honestly think that they can. I think it's technically possible, like you say, with Terra Classic, they did it, right? Um,
yeah,
so it is
yeah.
possible.
Yeah, I thought they were definitely going to do it if you would have brought it. Well, you bring it their way, but I guess that brings up another point with like I know you talked about tier three exchanges and not listing on those or not choosing to list on those because it may not be as much of a help. Do you feel like do they not have as much volume at all? You expect like less than $10,000 or $20,000? I feel like anything would help.
Yeah, I mean, volume we can always create with market makers, right? I mean, we can do the same as Pepe on a centralized exchange and create $1 million volume every day on any centralized exchange, even on the tier three ones. It's more that I feel that the community doesn't like trust those names, and I always listen to the community as well. Because I have already suggested P2B. They are ready to list us with tax. Coin Store are ready to list us with tax. There is multiple options we have, and they are not expensive. Their most expensive package would be like 5K for us, but if it's worth it, it's hard to say, right? Because even Bitmart has a lot of numbers which aren't really the truth, in my opinion. If it's about real users and so on. But
Do
we
you
can
think
do
that
we
they?
can do a poll. We can do a
Oh,
poll. I mean, if they do 10% burn, even $1,000 volume, that would mean that $100 get burned every day, right? So we could consider that. I just want to listen to the community if it's about listing on those lower tier exchanges.
so it's definitely more of a trust issue, especially like you're giving
Yeah,
them
people don't know
supply.
those exchanges. Right. Yeah, they don't know those exchanges well. They don't really trust them as well.
Yeah, because like you
Um,
see, would you have to give them a larger amount, or would you be giving them like a way lower liquidity than what you would see with like Bitmart, where they have like 7% or something? It'd be a
well,
lot lower.
Bitmart we actually started with we had to give them 20K in Elmo, right? Which was like $1 million at that time.
Hmm.
So everything you see on Bitmart is pretty much people that transfer to Bitmart because probably the sales tax is lower, but also because of that USDT reflection.
Okay. Oh yeah, that makes
But
sense.
once we list on another bigger exchange, like for example Huobi, I think that number on Bitmart will go down again and it will go up on Huobi, and after a while it will spread out, right? It's just that right now Bitmart is, if you're just going to hold and you're not going to use the utility which is coming, then probably Bitmart is also kind of like the best option. I'm not sure about the withdrawal fees on Bitmart, but I think you have like 2% there. In the end, I think fee wise and withdrawal wise and everything, I think it really doesn't matter that much if you hold on Dex or you hold on Bitmart. I think the
Hmm.
difference is very minimal. Um, But yeah, it will spread out over time. Bitmart is just the only one right now, and that's why they probably are very happy they listed us as the first one, right? Because they get lots of fees from it, people withdrawing, people trading, and so on. But once
Yeah.
we list on another exchange, that will spread out more evenly, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just always thinking of like, especially with like a meme coin or popular coin, you're always thinking about keeping the popularity or hype alive. So every bit of news is always a good thing. So you probably have some of those tier three exchanges that people do trust list so that you have the news.
Yeah, I'm
And then you
looking all
also
day long, man.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I'll let
I
other
mean, we
people
can
get some
we can do
questions
a
in.
poll. I mean, I could arrange a list of 4 tier 3, tier 2, whatever exchanges, and I mean, we can just let the community decide, right? I just know that we can do P2B, we can do CoinStore.
Yeah.
CoinStore is maybe not as big as an exchange yet, but CoinStore is also pretty new, and they're actually quite big. They're growing massively, especially in Asia. I think it's an Indonesian exchange, if I'm not mistaken, and they're also having even a allowance from the Indonesian government to operate as an exchange in Indonesia, and not a lot of exchanges do have that, right? So every exchange has its pluses. So CoinStore is more for the Asian market, I would say, and it's a good exchange in my opinion. I have experience with them. They don't have issues with rolling and all that stuff. I don't see anything sneaky in their exchange. I think they're pretty good.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's something that like I said, right? I can get a list and we can just, list on any of the ones that get the most votes. I really don't care, right? For me, it's like you say, we can get volume of them. We can get burns of them.
Yeah.
And it's like you say, you drop a bit of news, right?
Yep. All right, I'll let other people get some questions in. I feel like I asked too much already.
Yeah, sure. I just have to check the chat if there is anyone asking me anything interesting here.
I would
Do
love to
first
ask a
tier
question.
exchanges
Hi.
allow coins? Yeah, sorry.
Good morning.
Morning, ma'am.
Did you say ma'am?
Man, I said man, not madam. No, man.
All right.
I reckon.
What's going on, brother? How you been?
Yeah, I'm good. Just busy as fuck.
I know that's a good thing. I'm glad when you guys are busy.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
gonna ask you
busy.
I'm gonna ask you a couple of quick questions.
Sure.
And I'm sorry if you already answered this, but I know that you said something about the NFTs. I didn't hear anything about. Is the proceeds from the NFTs? Is there any portion of that goes to burning, or is that for marketing? What are we doing with that?
Yeah, that's also something I want to kind of bring up in the community as a vote, but we for sure would like to have at least 30% of the revenue of the NFTs added to over time, maybe not at once, but it has to be added to the liquidity pool, right? We don't want to have the issue as Pepe had, that people held a lot of tokens but couldn't sell because the liquidity just wasn't strong enough, right? That's step one. And we would use partially for a buyback, probably ranging between 50 to 100 Ethereum, and to burn that. And also we would use it for marketing, obviously, and we would use it for potential centralized exchange listings.
So
I, I don't think so. That to answer your question, K King. I don't think so. That the tax will have the same issue because they're trying to list on there based on if they're going to do the tax or not. And if they don't list.
Also going to do staking of NFTs. So you buy an NFT and then you can stake them later, right? And you can get back Elmo for it. So you kind of get a cash back in a way if you hold long enough.
Right. Okay. Yeah, and my other question was going to be, you said something about once you get USDT from the exchange or whatever, you're going
Yeah.
to hold that, and you're going to hold it in a.
I hold 210,000 Elmo, and soon I'll be holding 220,000 Elmo.
We already kind of dealt with the scam situation, and I was wondering, when you have all those fees in that, or all those proceeds in that wallet, had you thought about doing that wallet as some sort of multi-sig wallet where,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
whole
Sure.
team needs to sign off on it? Yeah.
Sure.
How's that
Sure.
going to go?
Yeah, we're actually the 60 million, which is still locked, which I relocked today, also will go to a multi-sig once it unlocks. I'm also gonna hang my hardware wallet to it just in case, right? You never know.
Yep.
So yeah, we're gonna do that. It's just that those 60 million, I relocked them today, and after they unlock, we're gonna check what we're gonna need to do with them. I mean, we're never gonna sell them and dump on you guys. I mean, that's one thing we would never do. But yeah, we will do a multi-sig. That is the idea, and we can do the same for all the fees which we receive from NFT and all the fees that we receive from Bitmart.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a great idea, and it would really help. You know, those scammers are getting more and more intelligent. You know,
Yeah,
so
unfortunately, man. I mean, I can
multi-sig
explain one
really
more
cuts
time
down
what
on
happened
that.
with the OTC. It's a week ago now, I think. It was a week ago. So basically what they used a technique called mirror chat, right? And they had my escrow, which is a very trustworthy friend of mine. And they had a mirror chat going on, and my escrow was actually on a different chat, and they copied his account and his username, and they copied my account and my username, and the entire time we were basically on different mirror chats, right? And we were under the impression, and this is a totally new technique, this mirror chatting, that we were speaking to each other, right? Because we were also on a meeting at the same time speaking to each other. But they kind of confirmed using my account that they received the funds, right? So I kind of confirmed, which wasn't me, that I
Hello.
received the money, but I never got it, because it wasn't me, right? And my escrow was under the impression I got it, and then he sent the Elmo, and that's how it all happened. And I was live on the meeting with these guys while they were dumping. So yeah, that was kind of painful. It was painful. However, we've actually managed it pretty well as a community as well. I know we've lost some people as well, obviously, and I understand that. It's kind of a fuck up which happened. But when he died,
The link to buy Elmo is pinned to the chat, or you can buy it on Bitmart if you want to buy it. But make sure you find the right time to buy it. Don't just buy it because things are happening right now. Make sure you find the right place to buy it and risk what you're willing to risk. Anything has a chance to fall, and we don't want it to fall, but you never know.
Did you paid for Bitmart listing or they list you
no,
for
yeah,
free?
we did pay. Yeah,
You paid.
yeah.
Actually, I am also a listing partner of SuperX. SuperX is a Web3 exchange, and I have told you about that, but you did not see my message.
Yeah, I get like, I mean, if you want to share my mailbox, it's fine. But I have like 100,000 messages of 100,000 exchanges from 100,000 different people. So I do check them once in a while, but I'm mainly busy with community building and keeping crowd control and all that stuff. But I'll look at it eventually. Don't worry.
Okay.
Let me.
We have a affordable price that's not too high, and we have a great volume. We
Yeah,
have
I know.
around
I know. Every exchange has it. Don't worry about it, buddy. I'll get back to you. All right, let me just quickly take some questions from the chat. Right, staking, how long possible? Yeah, like I said, it really depends. It depends. I mean, we have a reserve of tokens, but we don't want to use it all for staking, because if we would give away all tokens for staking, we would burn shitloads as well. But we would give away too much, and our liquidity would actually become weaker if we would give away, let's say 20 or 30 million to people, right? We have to also stay realistic and smart about the staking, because giving away too much, like some projects, they give shitloads of tokens, APIs, and in the long run it's painful. How long you think we can continue to burn tokens? I think we can continue pretty long. I think we can continue forever, maybe even. Do we really need like max C, for example, to become 100 or 200 million market cap? In my opinion, no, we don't need them. I think that if you continue to build as we're building now, we continue gaining holders, we continue gaining in the price, we keep building, eventually they will apply those taxes. And I'm pretty sure, eventually they will understand the idea of what we're doing here, and they will actually think, oh, that's pretty cool, right? So let's support them, and let's also apply those taxes. And it's like Matt said, that they did it for Terra Classic, so it's not a matter of it's not an issue that they can't do it technically. It's just that they don't want to do it because they, I guess, don't really, are not 100% sure about it yet.
Could I ask another question before you
Yeah,
get back to
sure.
the chat? Some people in my chat yesterday when I was talking about Elmo, well, not some people, it was a moderator, asked me about the name Elmo, and it's always come up where you have different things that already have they're already like trademarked or something. Do you think that will be a problem in the future if Elmo becomes
No,
insanely popular, or
no,
I
because our name is Elmo ERC everywhere, connected
okay.
with each other, and Elmo ERC connected is not a trademark issue.
Okay. I just wanted to know if like the character itself or anything will be have any issues if it
No, the
does become
character
a
for sure
billion
not.
dollar
No,
project.
no. I mean, the
Yeah.
character is based off Elmo, but it's not Elmo. But actually, Elmo, the name, if it's about Sesame Street, that name is not trademarked. And the Elmo name, which is trademarked or copyrighted, is a smaller company in the US, which has the trademark on Elmo. And
Mhm.
that's also why it took a bit longer with CoinGecko, because they weren't sure about that. CoinGecko is also registered in the United States, so they're a bit more careful, right, with what they list and what not.
Mhm.
For example, Sponge, that project, never got listed on CoinGecko because of the copyright issues. I mean, their logo obviously is SpongeBob, and if you look at their website, it's full of SpongeBob, right?
Mhm.
If you look at our website, if you look at our general visuals, the Elmo which we use is not, first of all, the Elmo of Sesame Street. I mean, it's based off, right?
Yeah.
But based off, it's not a copyright issue.
Mhm.
Um, and the name, like we said, we listed on CoinGecko as Elmo ERC. Ticker in general or symbol, it's never a copyright issue, right? Especially not in crypto, because you can take any ticker, and that shouldn't be an issue at all. And I mean,
What happened to the video? Did it get pulled for copyright? Like I don't what happened to the video? Did everybody have this problem? Is it just me or oh no. It'll reopen.
yeah, I don't know what happened, but I guess some admin accidentally closed the video chat.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
that
So
I
where,
thought that
where
was
did I
weird.
finish? Where did I finish, Matt? Tell me, where did I finish?
I mean, you're basically saying that it's likeness and how everything is not actually like Elmo, and it's not something that will be a problem basically.
No,
So
no. If CoinGecko lists us, it means that it's not going to be a problem, because CoinGecko is very strict in such things, and they actually have also their legal department that checks at such things. And I've had contact with CoinGecko about it, and that's why we're listed also on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko as Elmo ERC, right?
mhm, yeah. All right. Well, to ask one more question, what would be the end goal for Elmo? I know that's kind of asking a lot from like a meme token or a popular token. You don't really know actually what it is right now and what it's going to be. But if you had to say there was an end goal of where this would go, like, are you looking to turn this from just like a meme into something that can actually be usable for years to come, or are you
Yeah.
not even thinking about that right now?
Well, to stay realistic, you cannot make any big promises as well, in my
Hmm.
opinion. Um, but the idea is that the value of the token rises, the supply decreases, and I think if it's about market cap, right, it's going to be very hard with our tokenomics to pass the 1 billion. Right, that's just how simple it is. Simply because our supply decreases, so our market cap also automatically decreases. Right, price wise, I mean, what is it 33 times nowadays? If we want to talk about a dollar at this stage, for example, or at 30 or 40 times, in the bull market. It's definitely possible, especially when Ethereum also will go for a run, right? Then basically we go with it automatically. I don't like to do predictions, because later people will come back saying, hey, but you said this, you lied, or whatever, you're a scammer, blah blah blah, right? That's why also on the website stage 4 is $1, because I think $1 is quite a realistic target to reach with our tokenomics. And the long run, yeah, I mean, long run, if you look at SHIB, for example, right? What have these guys been doing in the past year? Not so much, to be honest. They are building Shibarium for I don't know how long, you know, but nobody has seen it yet, as of yet. But still, somehow they keep their value. And I think that's kind of a point where Elmo also will go to, that we're going to go over the dollar eventually, and that we're going to keep that value, and we're going to go over that as well once we start actually providing more use case, right? And I'm talking use case, not about a blockchain like SHIB does for a year or over a year already, but I mean real use case, right? You could think about our own wallet with credit card integration and all that stuff. But you know, I like to take things, and the team is the same, in a realistic way, step by step. And we first have our roadmap to finish off, which is still going to take some time, obviously, because our roadmap consists of 100K holders eventually. And after that, you can do, you know, a lot of things, and it depends also on the community, right? How long they're going to support it. Because if, for example, the SHIB community stops supporting it, well, you know what happens then, right? You need to have believers. You need to have people that really want to, you know, continue building for long term, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, and not just for that one pump, right? It
Well,
depends on the community.
Well, honestly, you can say that when it comes to SHIB, right? SHIB was never and never had a team behind it, because they have it's like completely decentralized. The people that are doing all of these extra stuff, like that's a team
That's
surrounding
community.
SHIB, right? Community
Yeah.
around SHIB. So honestly, SHIB doesn't have any type of use case at all, and it's all building off of that hype and staying strong off of that hype. So
Community, yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah,
that's
but
what
SHIB
you
did
can
have
see
a
with something
team.
like this.
SHIB did have a team, but they kind of, you know, they ran away quite quickly, and also the renouncement of SHIB was a mistake. You know, they didn't want to renounce it. They actually did that by mistake, and that's actually kind of when the community took over at that point, right? Because the team kind of ran away from it, and they didn't want to renounce, but they did it anyway. And then also, you know, Elon Musk with his tweet and all that stuff, and that's how it moved, you know, hard and quick. And the community obviously bullish, and there's a lot of people holding still a lot of SHIB, and they obviously wanted to do well, right? So they are starting to invest their own money into building something for SHIB. And like you're saying, it's not a team; it's a group of kind of volunteers, you could say, right, who do these things. And that's eventually what will happen with Elmo as well. The only difference is that we will not just sell off and run away like SHIB did, because they did that pretty early. But we will always, you know, continue to support, right? Our idea is not to just do this for 3 months and then say bye, good luck, have fun, but we want to continue this all the way till the end. And the end is undecided for now, and
Yeah,
that's going
and
to
I
be
think
undecided for a long time.
Yeah, and I think the point that I was trying to make was really around like utility and popularity. This can be like very, very popular, but it doesn't necessarily need like the utility right now. You build off of the popularity, it creates the opportunity to do something in the use case world, but you don't necessarily need that. And that's what I really wanted to hear, and I heard that from you, that it's more about finding out what it is and,
Yeah.
establishing a community behind it before you jump into, hey, let's get a utility and shove that down your face, So I like to hear that.
No, that's good, man. Good. I
I
just
would
let me.
also I would also like to add to the whole conversation that although we are a meme token, we are going to run this thing like a business, and we are trying to do our best and to get to our well, let's say goal for now to $1, and we will push this thing up. And yeah, with the support of the whole community, I strongly believe that we are going to be able to do this. And yeah, this is what I wanted to add to it.
Business, baby.
Exactly, yes.
Let me see. Yeah, actually, that's also kind of the idea of our project. Our team actually consists of people that are doing work which is kind of connected in a way to crypto. Like I'm in finance, for example, right? Another guy, Crazy Elmo, is into business. So it's all kind of connected. We know how it works. Money wise, stock exchange, for example, is pretty much the same thing, but stocks, they don't work under community, they just work as a company. But we do have the backgrounds, and we do work in sectors which will support us to be able to run this as a business and not just as a meme coin, right? And that also means being able to negotiate hard, not just throwing money into things which we're not sure about and all that stuff. Let me see. Is Elmo going to have a metaverse? Well, maybe one day. I mean, metaverse. What kind of metaverse do you want? Do you want to, have a gun and shoot at Elmo or shoot at Cookie Monster? Metaverses are full of possibilities. Obviously, actually, we have a person in the team, actually Elmo Painter as well, who has a experience with multiple programs such as Unreal Engine, right? So yeah, we can eventually collect a team and build something cool. Obviously.
We have to make the manpower to do this all, and we have also the knowledge to do this all.
Chad, that's the problem. That's the problem with a lot of people, is that they think utility is the now. And I've said this plenty of times, that utility is not the now. Utility is to establish what will be for the future, but it's not the now. Most people are not trading on decentralized exchanges. They're not trading on in the wallets. They're trying to find the cheapest way to move it, which is CEXs. And if most of the volume is going through CEXs, it doesn't matter what your utility actually is. People are not using it in that manner. So that's the issue, is whenever the volume starts to transition over to that point, that's when utility will be the main driver. You establish utility, but you don't focus on it 100% of the way. What we need to do is make sure that popularity stays strong. You feel as though Chad is being sarcastic? I don't know, maybe. Maybe not. I don't know, but it's a great time to answer that question, even if he's not being sarcastic or is.
I mean, I think our strongest ability in the team is that we're not selling off, because I think a lot of projects, they actually go to hell, because the team is getting greedy and they're like, fuck it, I'm not going to work for it anymore, I'm going to take out money. I think that's one of the strongest abilities which we have. First of all, because we all have jobs and we don't have the need to take out money anywhere. Like me, for example, I'm in crypto for 4 years, but I've never ever changed my crypto into fiat, right? Because I never needed it. I think that's the first very important thing, because that's what you see often with projects, especially in the meme space. It looks bullish, 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 and then suddenly, it just goes down, right? And that's it. It's gone. I think that's the strongest ability we have in the team. We're just a bunch of guys that actually kind of see it more as a hobby and as for fun than actually as a thing to make money of. Obviously, in the long run, you want to make money of it. But
yeah, Master, let me be more specific. That's not
yeah,
really what I'm asking you.
all
I
right,
know that there's, on the team, you've got someone who specializes in marketing. On the
right,
team, you have someone who is a hell of a developer.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying. What are the jobs of the guys on the team that give
sure.
you the ability to build this thing?
All right, so I am Elmo, and Master Elmo, and I am just a guy who is really good at multitasking. I can do a lot of things. And I remember a guy once called me, oh, what is it called? I don't
Snipe.
remember exactly, but I'm good at doing a lot of different things, right? I understand blockchain, first of all. I understand how to negotiate. I am good at finding the right marketing strategies as well, and not to waste money on this. And let's go now, for example, to Elmo Architect. He is an amazing designer, right? He can do NFTs. He can do anything in Photoshop or in ZBrush or whatever you want. he's an amazing guy next to that as well.
You
With
could say digital artists.
that,
Don't make it
yeah,
too
but I like to be
complicated.
more. It has to sound more, impressive, right? Um, he is very smart in a way that he has amazing ideas for unique stuff in the blockchain, right? Unique things, not always following the same things that other projects do. I mean, obviously, staking NFTs, it's kind of standard in a way, but we did add a kind of a twist of uniqueness into it with the burns, right? So that's Elmo Architect. Then we have Crazy Elmo. He is a guy that is a hardworking guy, and he is very good at organizing marketing strategies as well. So he is especially good at finding the right people, especially talented people. Not necessarily the most expensive, but he is very good at recognizing talent. So when we are, for example, looking for someone to support with, let's say, NFTs, he will find the right guy, right? And that's what he's good at. Um,
So
Let me
quick
think.
thing to follow up on that. So that means you have like outside sources that are doing like maybe that are building the NFTs and building maybe
No, we
some
have
forms of
also
utility?
inside sources, but creating 1,000 unique NFTs in a matter of weeks, you need some
Mhm.
support from the outside, right? It's not
Yeah.
something you do in a couple of days, and we're not going to use an AI generation NFT. We're going to actually do them one by one, kind of in a way with kind of like Board 8 did, right? Different traits and so on. So, just our team, which is also busy with crowd control, community building, it's not going to be enough to being able to do it in a couple of weeks' time. So we do use outside sources, yes.
Yeah.
Then we have another person, which is actually an amazing blockchain developer, and he can build anything we want on the chain, right? He is actually he did the contract. He is actually doing the staking. He is doing the NFT minting and the NFT staking, and he'll be able to do more things with us in the future. He's not active on the community, right? Not everybody of our team is on the community. Then we have another person who is mainly good at, providing insights on what is right to do with the budget we have, right? So it's kind of like a budget controller, I would say. I always, go past him if it's about spendings and what to do and what not. And the other sixth person is a person who's not so actively building maybe with us, but he is mainly in the team because he's providing the liquidity as well, and he provided it from the start, and he is also kind of our advisor at the same time. We discuss all the things in the team, and later we also discuss it with the community. And I think the strength of our team is that we kind of complement each other, right? We complete each other's skills, and I think we have a really good team to build something unique and something really strong. If that answers your question, let me know.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that.
No worries.
The question was more for a lot of other people that are listening than it was for myself. But obviously, and you guys know, I'm very familiar with a few of you. Have known you for quite a while. But there are some others on the team that I don't think I know. Maybe I do, but I don't think I do. So you did answer.
Who is talking? Who's talking?
It's me. It's DJ Trev.
Ah, DJ Trav. Yes, yes. You do know me a little
You
bit.
know me. All right,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
I'll step down and let everybody else answer some questions.
All
Thank
right,
you. That
man.
was awesome.
Cool. Let me see what else do we have here. Also
Um,
important as much as that's to stick to exchanges that do tax. Yes, that's very important, because if we don't do that, then we're going to have a problem. Any plan on developing play to earn NFT? Play to earn, maybe more play to burn, I think that would be cooler. But yeah, I mean, we have capabilities in the team to create a play to earn or play to burn. Do the first tier exchange allow coins with tax to be listed, such as OKX, KuCoin, and Binance? I know
I'll
that
do that. RN. I'll do that in a little
I
bit because I'm
know
about to
that
get
they
off of
have the
here.
technical possibilities too, because it's like Matt said, right? That they did it for Terra Classic to burn off the supply. So at a certain point, when we reach a certain market cap and they see that they can actually make good revenue off us, they will probably allow us to have the burn tax, right? Because those exchanges, they have one goal, is to make money. If they see a project is good, a project has lots of volume, has a high market cap, is gaining popularity, that's when they that's when they list it, right? Because they can make money on the fees, like Binance did with Pepe. They don't do that because they love Pepe so much, in my opinion. They do that because they can make some money, right? If they can make money on us, yeah, they will implement it. I'm pretty sure about that. What?
So I have one more question before I have to go. Sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt, because I'm gonna get off of here. Um, but when it comes to like the supply, I hear myself. Somebody's mic or speaker on or something. I hear myself
I
in
heard
my
you.
headphones. It's
Right.
weird. So yeah, when it comes to the supply, let's say you're gonna burn it all the way down. Let's say you burn it down to 100 million coins, right? And the people that are holding, let's say 1% of it, is there a thought process on a standard way to like dilute yourself in order to make sure that you stay at that like 1%? Because if it gets to the point where, let's say you have 10% now and you end up decreasing all the way down to 50 million, well, now you have a way higher percentage that can impact the price if you do anything drastic, which
Yeah.
nobody really wants. So is there like a strategy that you're thinking about, or have you not developed it and just trying to dilute your own position to keep you at 1%? Um,
You
and
mean
on
the team's position?
yeah, team's position, anybody's position that holds a decent
Sure.
amount. I guess it would be the team.
Yeah, I mean the team actually, our team per person doesn't hold more than 1%. We don't hold that many tokens.
Mm.
Especially because we saw it in the way that, like you say, right now we're already 20% down, and actually our back in value increased by 20%, right?
Mm.
If it's about team, I'm not too worried about that, because as well the team would not sell off in a way that we would sell it off all at once. We would sell it off strategically, like
Yeah.
you saw, for example, with the funds which we gathered for Bitmart. I was able to do that in a matter of hours without actually hurting the chart. And on the more centralized exchanges you get, the more you can sell in a way that it doesn't hurt anyone.
Hmm.
Like selling it on different exchanges for a specific spot price, but not everything at once. You can do that as a team, and that's how we would do it as well. But we do have an idea in the future when we do gather funds is to potentially build our own tool, which is kind of similar, like you could compare it with the ship burn portal, which actually didn't really succeed, in my opinion, because they kind of gave a token for it which didn't have any value and now doesn't have almost any value.
Hmm.
But the idea maybe in the future is to, but don't take this as a promise, please, because we take things step by step. But the idea is to create our own kind of burn portal, and not to reward in some shitty token, but to actually reward for burning in stable coins, right? So that you don't sell on DEX, but you sell directly to us for USDT, and then it automatically goes to the burn. This is obviously something we need a lot of money for, right?
Hmm.
But it's not impossible to do it, part by part.
Okay, because I just want to make sure that there is some way to know that you guys are like diluting it, because if you get to the point where it's like, yeah, we're holding for a very, very long time, and then let's say you do have 1%, which right now would be 4 million, about 4 million. Maybe even as we burned, your value is going up, because if you had 1% before at $422 million, 422 million coins, you basically had 4.2 million. So as the supply is going down, your value essentially is going up, and everybody's is. But the point is when it gets to a point where it's like 10 million coins and you have like 4 million, then that's 40%.
Yeah, of
So
course.
there has to be some way to know that the dilution is happening, and it could be in your benefit and everybody's benefit,
Of
because
course.
honestly, you would be either pulling it out to burn it right away, or pulling it out to just take a little bit of profit to use it towards something else in the project, or just for yourself. But either way, the dilution would be helpful if you did have a strategy that was out there for everybody to know, my 4 million, when it does get down to 10 million coins, will be at a level to where it is 1%, and it will
Yeah.
stay that way.
Well, I mean, the team is not greedy as well. So, if we see it's better for the general project, if we would burn our own backs partially, I think we would do that, obviously.
Okay.
I'm not the kind of person that needs to have $100 million, at all. I would be happy if eventually I'll earn a couple of, I'll be able to pay off my mortgage and live a more financially free life. So I don't need a $10 million for that, right?
Yeah.
And I think that the team in general, they're not greedy people. We are. I think that's also what you can see in the chart, that we're not greedy, because a lot of, like I say, developers of projects, they are very greedy and they start selling off, right? And that's often what you see with the projects which you see now. They have this one massive pump, and after that they don't kind of come back to that point, right, to that all-time high.
Hmm.
In our case, however, you see that we're breaking that all-time high every 1 to 2 days, and that's mainly because we keep our tokens, in our wallets. We don't touch them, um, like you see Ben, for example, right? They had a massive pump, and now it's kind of like, it went down and it's kind of not doing much. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And that happens with projects where developers sell off their tokens, right? They're like, okay, now I can get $1 million. I'm out of this.
Yeah.
We're not like that.
Yeah, I
I am
don't
at
I don't
least
think
not.
you are. I don't think you are. I
No.
think it's just for the comfort of a lot of investors. They probably would want to see like
Sure.
a scheduled plan to make sure, like, hey, if we hit this level of tokens, because it is decreasing fast. So if you're like, if it hits this level of tokens, this is how much I plan to have, and if it goes there fast enough, this is where I plan to put it. I'll put it in burns and burn off more, or I'll sell some and just make sure that I get down to that percentage so
Sure.
it doesn't affect it in a large way.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, we're not at that point yet, right? I mean, we'll get to that point eventually. Um,
I mean, with the way we're
and I think
burning,
that
it
the
seems
community.
like it could be like the next few months at this point. So
Well, I don't
Most
think so.
profile.
That we'll go that fast to 100 million, because simply the first day is when we burn shitloads, because the bots, they were basically, taking the profits, right?
mhm,
And the bots only burned on the first day. I think only the bots burned like 40 million, because they were buying for shitloads and then they were selling. At a 2 times, 3 times, and that's how we burn 40%. Next to that, we have manually burned 31%. Sorry, 31 million. So that's 41. That's 71 million, right? And the rest, what have we burned so far? So that's like 40 million we have burned organically, you could say.
mhm,
But the burn rate goes down, over time, right? If the supply decreases, the burn rate goes down. Obviously, we have Daba, which is the big whale, who is still sitting on his back. And I believe that if he does sell, he does it with respect. And I have contact with him as well. So um, I think that he does it with respect. And I hope that other whales, which hold more than, let's say, 1% of the supply, will do it in the same manner, right? Because dumping an entire bag at once is also not profitable for a whale. They could get much more if they would take a bit here, a little bit there, to just
mhm,
wait for the chart to revive a little bit. And I hope that the whales, which we do have, understand that, right? That selling all is not the most profitable way. Selling
mhm,
it part by part is the most profitable way, and I hope that they see that. And that's why also exchanges are important, right? Because in exchanges, you don't sell to the liquidity pool, but you sell to people. So that's kind of what is the goal of having more exchanges as well. For the big ones to move around their tokens as well, and to sell to people instead of selling to the liquidity pool, right?
yeah. And I think that really does make sense, but it's about kind of leading by like example for the team members to sell with respect, as you put it. It would also trickle down to the other people that are big holders or even moderate holders that will end up selling with respect. So,
Right. Yeah, I mean, I could have sold already, I mean, I could have, but I don't see
yeah.
sense in selling such a great project at such an early stage,
Hmm.
and the team
Yeah.
agrees with that. Obviously,
100%.
we're also at a point where we can say, yeah, we're going to sell a little bit, but we're not going to sell, like, say, 1 million at once, because that's how you create panic and that's how you destroy a project, right?
Yeah.
We don't want that. And I think that I honestly think whales are whales because they know how to do business as well. Most of them, they made money in crypto and they have their main capital in crypto. So
Mhm.
they know probably very well that selling all at once is just not the way to do it, right? To make a good profit, you need to be able to sell smartly, slowly, and uh, and yeah, uh, I'm not too worried about it yet. And I think that the whales that we have, they look pretty, decent. And we lost a couple of them last week after the OTC mess up, but we've taken that pretty well, right? And yeah, look at the chart, right? I think it's one of the best looking charts right now in crypto, especially with the tokenomics as well. People sell, we're actually happy. It's kind of funny. People like, whoa, nice, somebody sold 1 million, we burned 100K. That's kind of the whole idea behind it. And it's about, like you say, right, selling smartly, with taking responsibility as well for it, not destroying somebody else's investment, because I think that's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah, and I have sorry to butt in like that, but just touching, and also if you can't see my name, I'm Mykonos Blue. Touching a little bit upon what Matthew was saying earlier. Me myself, like I'm not much of a meme coin guy. I like to invest considering logic at the focal point of when I go into things, and that's what immediately got me interested in Elmo. So going back to what Matt was saying about once supply decreases and those bigger holders' positions start to increase, I think that being transparent with the community is something that is going to make everyone hold like extremely strong. And I know you guys aren't looking into crazy into the future at this very moment about having a supply of 100 million, but looking on the outside, looking at Elmo, if you have not done any research, it's like an awesome meme coin. But then if you come into the community and it feels like, oh, wow, this is like a real good project, I think that's just going to solidify the holders even more and make them feel more comfortable. Obviously, you guys are running a great project, but the more safe that you guys could make the investors feel, the easier it is for us to hold. I'm not going anywhere. I love this project. And again, I'm not a meme coin guy, but I was pulled into this project by the transparency. And if you guys can keep that up, like I think Matt was saying, like maybe posting about like if you guys do dilute your bags to protect us and whatnot, I think that's a phenomenal idea personally.
Well, I can tell you that I can tell you that the entire team holds much less than Daba. That's what I can tell you. Daba is like the ruler here, and but I have contact with him, and I honestly think he's a great guy, and I think that he has the best intentions for everybody in this project, not only for himself. And next to that, I mean, you always have that problem with whales, right? You see it in every project. But yeah, it's about being responsible. That's why I'm also speaking here in public loudly about about the whales, right? If you do sell, then please do it in a responsible way. Think about the other person on the other side of the phone, right, or on the other side of the screen, holding this token. You don't want to also create panic for other people, right? And that's all I'm saying. And I think the team totally agrees with that as well.
Definitely. Yeah,
Thanks.
I think there's just one more thing. Whoever else wants to talk, I mean, just cut me off. But I believe that this project, as for all of us, has like a ton of potential. And I've seen in the past, greed could definitely take over a project rather quickly, almost like a virus. So I believe that, like I was saying before, the more transparency there is within the community, the more strength it builds, the more comfortable people feel about shilling it and whatnot, especially people that are higher up, like influencers and whatnot. The more transparency that's there, the safer people are going to feel. And I just wanted to, put a little emphasis on that. I feel incredibly safe in this project, and I'm a tough nut to crack. I'll be honest. I think I've only invested in like 2 other meme coins my whole life. So I
like
truly
Mykonos.
believe in this project.
Hopefully I'm saying his
And
name right.
yeah, the transparency is what is keeping me here. So just wanted to throw that in there in case anyone else feels the same way.
Thank you, man.
Okay.
Master, it's DJ Trev again, if I can. I had asked a similar.
I said I need to go, and now I just need to listen.
Shut up when you get me going.
I told you I should mute you, man. I should mute you.
You can do it whenever you want. All right.
Go
So
ahead.
anyway, I asked a very similar question to what Matt was asking of the developer. But so we're looking at a 10% tax on sales that is hard coded into the contract, which means it will just keep going and going and going. So the question that I had asked was, can it possibly just keep going until there is nothing left? And something was explained to me about there being 18 decibels instead of 9 decibels. I honestly can't say that I really understood it. Do you know what I'm talking about? And do you have a way to really explain that better?
About 18 to 9 decimals.
Right. When I was asked if it could possibly go to, eventually it's just going to go to nothing if you just keep burning and burning and burning. It was
Yeah.
explained to me about the 18 decimals, but I didn't really get it.
No, I mean 18 decimals. It's just more something for the developer, but 18 decimals in a way is, I was explained, is a better to use. I'm honestly not sure why, but I'm honestly 100% sure it will never go to 18 decimals, even to 9 decimals, right?
Just to add to that, 18 decimals is for higher supplies. Lower
Yeah,
supplies, you'll see a way higher price. So if it goes down to is like it goes down to one, right? One Elmo, and then they start burning off, 10% of whatever sold, and you have it's worth $1 million per Elmo because there's only one out there. Um,
yeah.
then you're not gonna have 18 decimals on the price because it's gonna be worth $1 million at that point. So
But I
that's the way
guess
that
what he
Yeah,
I
was
take it.
telling me, I guess what he was telling me, Matt, is that this is like an 18 decimal coin or whatever, you know. So I really didn't understand the difference, but that's the explanation that I got was that because it's 18 decimals, it'll never go to absolutely zero, and I just don't understand exactly how that works.
well, because you have 18 decimals, right, instead of 9. I mean, I honestly think going down to decimals is something that won't happen unless the project will keep burning until 15 years from now, right? Um,
Probably not in our lifetime, anyways.
yeah, that's a lot, because I mean, exchanges, if they will apply 6% or 5% or whatever, right? It will, you know, it will not, dilute as fast as now, for example. I honestly think getting to 100 million tokens will be already insane. You know, um, Probably it will happen, but going all the way to 10 or one Elmo, I mean, that's gonna take a long, long time.
Hey, you never know how many billions could go into it, and if it does,
Oh, that's
then
true.
Exactly.
That's
that's
true.
Exactly.
that's where it
Yeah.
starts getting ridiculous, and
If
that's
I would
why.
have a couple of billion, I would do it, but I don't have it,
Well,
man.
well, yeah, that. Well, that's why again, it always gets to the point where it's like we don't know how much volume is going to go into this. So as we start to see that volume, it would be great if you post on Twitter or on Telegram. This is the holdings of all of the team, and this is what
Mhm.
we plan to keep it at. It looks like it's going to get to this level. We're going to make these moves in order to keep it at 1% when it gets to this level. Something that's
Yeah,
just living
sure,
on
sure,
that
sure.
transparency.
That's so
Once
smart.
we get at
It's
once
so
we
smart
get
to do
once we
that.
get at that point, we will. Yeah, but we're not at that point yet.
All right, that sounds great. I got to get out of here though. I said I was
Matthew,
going to get out of here
Matthew,
like 20 minutes ago. So
Matthew, my bro, I just wanted to thank you for your support, and I also hope that your allergies are not acting up again.
no, they feel much better now. Actually, it's been 40 degrees over here, so I haven't had a problem with pollen or anything. So I'm good
What,
for right now.
Celsius?
No, Fahrenheit.
I don't know that, man. Fahrenheit's not my
Uh,
thing.
you know how much this is in Celsius?
No,
40 Fahrenheit? Cold
Nobody
or
knows.
is it warm?
you're losing me.
It's
You
probably
lose me
like
here.
it's probably like 10 or 15 degrees Celsius, I guess. Maybe somebody in the chat knows.
That's
But
like people. That's like using kgs versus lbs. I just can't get the.
somebody wants to buy 60K of Elmo, but you lose 10% for liquidity. Oh, interesting. Wait, let me think. Why is that? Why is that? I'll explain you why is that. It's because the price goes up and your tokens kind of, if you buy.
All right, so I had to leave. Anyways, let me answer some questions and then I'll go ahead and get out of here because I gotta eat some lunch. I had like 120 calories this morning. I'm trying to count some calories a little bit. I feel as though I'm not doing a great job. Like I do a great job working out and stuff, but I don't do a great job with the calories in, calories out type of situation. And always bothers me because I enjoy different types of food. Like I make food. I was a chef for 7 years and I loved making different flavors. But the problem is that you're making these different flavors, making these different things, but it also increases in calories as you add sugar and salt and all of these other stuff. So um, I need to dial that back and, relax. Anyways, I don't know much about this AMA. Really helped Elmo. I think it helped. Just getting an understanding of one, having that connection with the people itself. Whenever you feel like you can connect a voice to an image, I guess. It feels a little bit better. Yes, we would like them to be a little bit more transparent when it comes to who they are, but if they have jobs, they can't do this, right? It's something where they feel like their job is in jeopardy, and then it comes to the point where they have to take drastic measures and do something that we don't want them to do, right? And I'm not saying that they're going to, but that's always what happens, right? If we bring them out of their shell too fast, then they have to adapt to whatever it is, and they can't adapt as fast. So you have to take your time. We'll get their voices. We'll get an understanding of who they are, how they speak, whether we can feel like they're lying or if they're telling the truth, how transparent they are. And I could get a sense that he probably wasn't fully understanding everything that we were going into about when it comes to the dilution and forced dilution within it of their own holdings. But it'll get better. We'll get through to them, and I think I got through to them at the last moment where they were like, "Yeah, we'll definitely do that when it comes to that time." But we want to make sure we kind of really lay down the foundation for bigger holders to be transparent, because once they do it, others do it, and then we have a solid project, because this has a potential to be really, really good. And I would absolutely hate if somebody came out from under and just took everything, because it would suck. It has the potential to be so much bigger. And if they just work through it the right way, get the exchanges, everything there, we could see this at a much higher value. Now, someone asked me earlier today, where was it? Because I was supposed to get out of here, and I asked a question, and then it was like 20 minutes later. Where was it? Somebody asked a question. I can't find it. It was somebody. Big sellers bounce very quickly. Blah 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 blah. Go up here. Scalping it. No. I don't know where it was. Did they delete their comment? It would have came up as a deleted comment. So what do you do with Elmo? My question, like, what do I do with it? Or what do they do with Elmo? Big cells have so far bounced very quickly, and I think the burn is helping in that sense. It definitely is. Bro, trust me, bro. I would have its own chain and stuff, right? Who cares? Nobody, blah, blah, blah. We'll never get down that low. There's already probably 1 million tokens lost. Like, almost store value. How much you getting paid, Matthew? How much am I getting paid from them? So initially when I did my review, they paid me, I think it was like $300 or something for the review, which was great, because I review anything. It's not necessarily saying that somebody should buy it, but it's reviewing the overall project. And then I saw the potential throughout the review, and I was like, look, I want to be a part of this. Honestly, I wanted to hold 1%, because I feel like my value is showing, right? We went from 1,300 holders up to 2,100, and it wasn't only from me. I'm sure there was other reasons as well, but my videos got 10,000, 7,000, 5,000, 3,000 views, and now I have a live stream that's going on as well. So I showed what my worth is and what my value is, but I wanted to hold 1% so that I can show them what that overall process would be in, selling throughout time, as you see, more positive days or negative days or whatever you want to look at. You sell some just to be able to make sure you get to the level of being around 1% at certain levels. You have a goal, let's say 100 million coins, 1% of 100 million coins, you would need to get down to 1 million. So throughout the time period that you believe it's going to get to 100 million coins, you need to have you need to have some sort of strategy to sell throughout that process. Or if you're going to take that money and sell it, you can put it back into the project somewhere else in the form of liquidity, or you can put it into NFTs or whatever you want, but you can have that. So that would give an example of exactly what needs to be done so that they can do that, because it doesn't make sense for them to hold, instead of 1%, they're now holding 4% if it gets down to 100 million. And how fast this is falling, it's looking like we're going to get to that point a lot sooner, especially if you start adding on CEXs that are now doing the burning as well. it'll really start getting down to a low project or a low supply and seeing such a high price point. So how much am I getting paid? I got paid $300 for the review. But when it comes to talking about Elmo consistently and being a part of, I guess, the influencer team, I guess, I had 200,000 and I am getting about 10,000 every, every 10 million market cap that we hit, I get 10,000 coins. So that's really my deal. And I know I don't really, you shouldn't really talk about deals, but I'm very transparent with guys. So I want to make sure that when I get to that point, this will be able to set an example of me. If I'm holding a million, I would be holding 1%. And that's what I want to get to, is get to the ability where I, I am holding 1%. And, I do feel like I am a major part of it, because I feel like I really got it off the ground from where it was when things get hit hard by some sort of negativity. You need something to push you up. You need someone to pick you up. And I wouldn't want a 50-pound person to try and pick me up off the ground, because maybe they're not strong enough. They can't pick me up. I'm judging a book by its cover, but maybe they're not strong enough. I would ask for somebody that's either my same weight or somebody that physically has the strength to pick me up, and that's what I did. I was able to do that, and I felt like they were on their way. It was just I increased the timeline, if that made sense. So I have 200,000 right now, and that's way less than 1%. It's like less than 0.25%. It's basically like 2.5% or something. Or sorry, 0.025%. I think that's where it's at. Anyways, let me continue. I had another question that I wanted to answer, but I can't answer it now because I don't know where it is. Hey team, creating a Lady Elmo Inu, blah 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 blah. I'm sure somebody will create it once you start seeing the popularity. I would just continue to bag more Jasmine. I still have Jasmine. I didn't count that bodybuilder, but wait, I didn't count like a bodybuilder, but I can say 100% when I did at least pay attention to my calories, I did lose weight. Yeah, it's more about accessing the body fat in a way, because it's, I'm not saying it's ridiculous, but I feel as though I'm always like, oh, I need to work out a little bit more, but I never really count calories. And I never did when I was in college and in high school, but now, as I'm now 32, I have to. Also, utility does matter. Our biggest bag is in XRP at the moment. I can't wait for... So for your biggest bag being in XRP, utility does matter for the future. But your biggest bag being in XRP, what is its utility right now? What do people use it for? The answer would be nothing. They don't use it for anything right now. But the mindset is that we will have future utility. They're investing for what it will be, and long-term investing for what it will be. The short-term investing or day trading or swing trading is based on the volume spikes that we see with certain news. So it's more towards where the popularity would be, because if it did not have popularity, that same use case, which is in many other cryptocurrencies, would not be existent. Like, it wouldn't be here, right? So if you have the potential for use case to be used as a transaction-based currency, right? That's something that could be a massive use case, but there's so many other coins out there that have the same thing, but they don't have the popularity to propel it up to these levels. XRP does. So that's why there's a difference between those. $300 was great, because I've lost so much money in crypto and don't have what I need to feed my family, and YouTube doesn't pay enough. No, $300 is a great place to review a position. And it depends. Like, it makes up for. So what I could do is, there's a lot of people out there with lesser subscribers that will charge $1,000 to do so. And a lot of people were like, I thought you would charge like $3,000 for a review. And honestly, I could. It's not about that. What it is about is the fact that I do a review so that it makes up for what I may make in one video, right? Because if I do a review and that review only gets 500 views, I could have placed another video that got 4,000 or 5,000 views and, you know, gave me a lot more revenue than what that 400 view video would have done. So it all depends on the popularity of the overall cryptocurrency. And if the cryptocurrency is not popular, it will not gather the views. I have to find a way to change the title to do something to gather attention into the position. But most likely, if you just have the coin there, you're not going to get the views that you have there. But it's a good try. Respect the transparency. Yeah, I try to be as transparent as possible. I'm dollar cost averaging into Pepe, and this YOLO, I can't be poorer than today. I mean, anybody can be poorer than they were before. If you invest money, you had money to invest, and then if that money is taken away, you are now poorer than you were before. But I get what you're saying in a way. I'm dollar cost averaging. I can't. Low carbs trigger fat burning. Higher carbs trigger muscle burning, and fat storage. That I would say is true, but I don't know. But it sounds true. Sugar is a problem too. I cut sugar for like a week, and I felt the best I've ever felt. But then I also missed out on a lot of flavors that had added sugar. And it sucks because if I want to make something, then I know if I'm adding any type of sugar, I'm adding the added sugar into it. And also, if you're making a meal that has a natural sugar into the fruit or whatever it is, that's technically added sugar into the meal to make it, taste a little bit better or taste a little bit sweeter. And it's a problem. So even though it's natural sugar can be bad for you if you're eating too much of it. Isn't a tax a mess with exchanges? Will exchanges ignore the burn projects generally pain? No, so it's not necessarily a pain. They just the reason why they don't do it because they can do something automatic, right? They can set up something automatic very, very easily, just like they do with buys and sells and APYs and all that stuff. It can be something that's easy, but the problem with exchanges is the fact that they want to compete with the next, right? Exchanges are all about competition. You have Binance, you have crypto.com, you have Coinbase, you have KuCoin. It's all about competition. And if you already have something established to where, let's say for Terra Luna Classic, Binance holds the most of it. The best way for KuCoin to go about this is to see if Binance introduces the tax, wait for them to get down to a certain point, then everybody's equal, and then they end up implementing the tax because now that they're equal, they can burn just as much, right? They can burn just as much and hold just as much price-wise and value-wise, but they're holding a little bit more in comparison to what Binance was before, if that makes sense. So they were at 2.6 trillion, they were at 300 billion, and now you see them decrease their supply by burning off their supply, get down to 300 million. Now KuCoin starts to burn off their supply, and both of them are burning down, but they're burning as equals rather than burning as someone that's superior. So it's all about competition, and they don't want to have the competition or the competition get a lot of their investors into it. So it's more about that rather than exchanges having an issue with burning, an issue with building a tax into it. That's not the case. Will there come utility to Elmo? Probably eventually, but I don't think that that's where we need to be. With any position, the popularity gives you the opportunity to build utility. If you build utility too fast, you end up hurting the whole entire thing, right? People are like, hey, you built this and now we have no type of news to build into our massive community that we ended up getting. Shiba Inu does not have utility. You look at all the projects that are being built around it, it doesn't have utility. Now, if the team comes out and says, look, we're building something and, we're building something big here, and they actually build something big that affects Shiba Inu, well, now you have an official announcement that can skyrocket Shiba Inu by itself. So it's better to do that. It's like when Facebook first launched. You didn't see them get 2 schools and then automatically start pushing ads in front of people's faces. No, they waited till they got to millions of people, right? Like 1 million people, 2 million people. And then that's when they started to give you a little bit of advertisements. Then they started to get more advertisements as you saw 10 million people and 20 million people. It's about waiting for it to be popular to see what opportunities that brings you. If you do it too soon, the whole entire project comes crashing down and it ends up being MySpace, right? So you have to look at it that way, which honestly could be a good video, just talking about utility and why popularity is more important, which I have made those type of videos, but I think I've never brought it to that example. The Facebook and MySpace example really does align well with understanding how popularity can grow something to its max potential. Definitely not saying Elmo is the next Amazon by any means. Oh, I'm not saying that at all. Um, to the current point, Amazon wasn't profitable for the first 20 years. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And yeah, I know Elmo is not Amazon, but you have to build popularity. I found the question you were looking for earlier. What question? How did you find the question I was looking for? How do you know what I was looking for? Can you share? Oh, you did know that. That was that from you, or is that was from RN 79 Gaming? Can you share your real expectation for this Elmo ERC? Don't take me wrong, but this it looks like just a scam meme. Thank you. So yeah, that is the question that I've been looking for. You underestimate me. um, so my real expectation for Elmo, honestly, I really do think this is an amazing project, and the concept of the project is what makes it amazing, not the actual project. If you came up with something and with let's say it was just a standard name where it was called Burn, right? Let's burn this or something. It wouldn't be as big, right? You wouldn't be able to build the popularity to burn, right? There have been plenty of burn projects. There's been Safe Moon that was out there burning a certain amount. I think it was like 10%, but it didn't have the popularity to do so. It also started with like multiple trillions or something. So it was very difficult to gather the amount of interest and also be listed on certain places because you had too many decimal places or something like that. Um, so you had that ability to do that, and in a lot of people's eyes, Safe Moon was the bar to show everybody that deflationary positions don't work. But in my mind, it was just not done correctly, right? You had a lot of people that weren't really focused on what they should be focused on, and they're more focused on the utility side because that's all what people ask for. But if you talk about a meme coin that really doesn't have a ton of utility behind it, or even have a thought of a ton of utility behind it, it's all about building the popularity and doing something, crazy with um, a coin that is Elmo or is Pepe or is Shiba Inu or whatever, right? It's about the meme more than it's about building a utility around it, and that's what I was trying to say when it came to comparing it to SHIB. SHIB has popularity but doesn't have a utility, and it was worth 40-50 billion dollars at one point. Now it's worth about 5 to 6 billion dollars, but still worth billions. And Elmo could also be the same. It could be worth billions in the future. Not saying it will be, but it could be worth billions. And you never really know what's going to take off depending on who's behind it. So the concept is great. Burning down the supply is great. Seeing the overall volume in it to get to that burn is fantastic. But you also need to see that the developers and whales are selling at a reasonable pace, and they're not just waiting for it to get to $1 and then sell their 100 million coins to get $100 million. So, anyways, I think give me a second. Let me answer this. I don't know why I'm going to answer it, but let me. I honestly don't know why I need these headphones. I have to go to the driving range, man. My swing is horrible. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think the expectation for Elmo ERC is to see a lot of the supply decrease, but to see this get to not only the form of a dollar where I think people will sell. Will I sell? Maybe some of it, right? Will I sell a hell of a lot? No. It'll probably be like 10,000 of my coins. One of my payments I'll end up receiving, that's what I'll probably sell, $10,000 to capture something, right? Um, and I'll most likely you'll have 10% that ends up coming out anyways. So it's going to be 1,000 that goes directly towards the no wallet because I'm selling 10,000 coins. But anyways, you need people. I believe that this is going to get to a level of a dollar where people will sell it because it's an expectation, right? They set an expectation for it to get to. But honestly, this can go a lot further. And them not knowing that or not seeing how this can get to 100 million coins, I believe that this can get to a $100 million market cap, a $200 million market cap, but it's all about the fact that it can do it. We haven't really discussed will it, right? And I guess that comes day to day. There's always a different conversation where you're like, yeah, I believe it will do it today. But then the next day you're like, all right, well, this doesn't make sense, so maybe it won't do it. So it's a day by day decision on whether I believe it's going to get to those levels, but I firmly do believe that it's going to get to $1. It's going to get to $2. It's going to get to $10. Hell, this might even find a way to reach, well over 100,000, $1 million per coin. It just depends on what it's worth, right? Because if you have 4 coins that are out there or 10 coins that are out there in total, and it has a $10 million market cap, each coin is worth 10 million or $1 million because it has a $10 million market cap, 10 coins. That makes sense. Now, obviously, it would take a lot of time to get to that point. The burning never stops. But I'm just so interested to see where this goes and if you can build something utility wise in the future that can sustain whatever price it's at. Does that make sense? I know it sounds so trippy. It does. But understand when something does have a value at a certain market cap and people are holding it, even if they're holding percentages of it, it has its own value. It has its own worth. And the more scarce that something gets, it's just like, let's say you have, you have 10 pair of Jordan 1s, right? Which I'm planning on getting the Spider-Man Jordan 1s on the 20th. I haven't been a sneaker person in a while, and I just want to buy some sneakers. So I'm going to get like those, which is a re-release. But anyways, let's say you have 10 pairs of Jordan 1s that are worth, how much are Jordan 1s worth? Let me see. The Chicago Bulls Jordan 1s. Jordan. So, um, so the Jordan 1s, right here, you can get those. They're worth $72,000. So say you have a couple of Jordan 1s. There's only 10 that are made in the world. If you end up decreasing the amount that you have, let's say that some of those we end up throwing in the ocean or we burn them and now you don't have them anymore. Well, now that $72,000 mark is going to be worth a hell of a lot more. So as you're decreasing the supply, you're increasing the price potential. It doesn't mean that it will get there. It means that you're increasing the price potential. And if you have a use case for whatever's left, then it becomes a little bit more valuable. So it really all depends on what they do because the popularity can be large, which can make the opportunity endless. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it will get there. I'm saying the possibility of it getting there. What I'm hoping for as time goes on, I'm hoping to hold 1% and to hold 1% consistently as it does decrease in supply. So if it gets to 100 million and I'm holding 1 million, I'll have 1%. If it goes down to 90 million, well, I will find a way to have 900,000 coins at that point to hold 1%. Maybe everybody doesn't look at me that way. Or doesn't look at it the same way and they hold 2% or something, but I know for a fact that that's my plan is to do that with it. He's pumping and dumping on YouTube. Usually these people do it on call groups. You're a joke. I mean, you can say whatever you want. I And that just gets you like banned here because honestly, I'm the most transparent person possible. But I'm just giving you my perspective on what can happen, what will happen, what my expectation is of it. And we'll go from there. So name one coin that has done anything with burns. So this is the thing that people say. It's like, hey, what happened with this coin, or name something that actually worked that way. Tell me this. Did people say that about planes? They're like, oh, well, name one plane that actually worked. Okay, so I should stop making planes then? Should I stop making cars? Should I stop running my business because no one has ever done it? No, that's the thing that you do. You disrupt an industry. You disrupt whatever you feel like can't work, and you prove them wrong. And I honestly believe in any single situation, you can apply the same thing to this cryptocurrency, right? The popularity for Jordan 1s, right, were huge at one point, and they were worth, they were priced at what, like $100 or something cheaper, right? They were priced, way cheaper than what they are now. But now that people are going back and looking at it and they're like, these things are way more valuable. Look at how much they're worth now per pair. And then as you see less in there that are more valuable, or not more valuable, that are in perfect condition, they're worth more and more. So you see it happen in every single industry. It just hasn't happened in the crypto market yet. It's happened in the stock market, but it hasn't happened in the crypto market yet. It happens daily in the stock market, honestly. So, what people, they just always like to argue with that, and it's okay. You can argue with it. This is why I've been very, very successful in the things that I look at, because I look at every angle and try to disrupt an industry rather than try and comply to it. You're looking at people that are doing, yes, I'll do long-term strategy holding, and I'll hold my positions. I'll hold my ETFs, my Roth IRAs, my account, my 529 accounts for my kids. Like, I'll hold all of those long-term plays to adhere to what it is, but I also want to disrupt the industry with my short-term plays over here. So you can call it what it is. I'll leave it at that, but you can say whatever you want, but usually saying whatever you want without understanding anybody's side will just end up getting you banned in wherever you are. So it's cool. Bridge burned. Yeah, I see James. Yeah, he definitely is completely missing the point. Yeah, there's so many industries that were disrupted by things that haven't happened yet. And I think a lot of people like to look at SafeMoon and they go, that was the one that looks like this. I mean, just because it looks like it doesn't mean that it is it, right? If you're looking at a position that was supposed to burn down the supply and be deflationary, but didn't actually have the popularity and and take the right steps in order to get the supply burned down, in order to gather a community, in order to bring in the right people that weren't just looking to pump and dump it, that's a different story. But it all depends on what these developers are going to do, because honestly, the job isn't finished just because the price is rising. The job isn't finished just because um, we're seeing a lot of people have some success within it. That's not considered the job done. The job is done when we see the developers actively looking to dilute their own positions to adhere to what it should be. 1% they should be holding, maybe even less than that. And it'll get to that point. I'm sure it will. But you have to trust somebody in order to make the right moves, in order to disrupt an industry like we're trying to do. While people believe that mining is the way, you notice how everybody flocked, or a lot of people are flocking to Ethereum, because it's turning into a deflationary position. It's not something that's that you're mining with Bitcoin. And yes, Bitcoin is great and all, but I really don't see the true point in it. And just because I don't see the point doesn't mean that I say, F Bitcoin and nobody should invest into it. No, make your money, invest into it. If you believe in the project, believe in the project. But there's others out there that are also doing something, but they're doing something different. I love your channel. This Elmo seems like a show from the founders of the coin. I mean, I don't know how it really seems like it. It seems like something that they've built. I don't see it as somebody that has reviewed, thousands of coins. I don't see that. What I do see is the potential chance for something way bigger that is not done in any other project, right? And I'm not saying that anybody has to buy this right now. I'm not saying that you physically have to buy it. I give you the option to go and look at it and do whatever you want to do. But people see the worst in something, and it's okay to do that because you want to expect the worst or know what the worst is so that when something better happens, you're ready for it, right? So amazing viral, and at least they will burn a bunch when they sell. Yes, everybody wants to be a quick millionaire. Yeah, they do. They do. And I don't necessarily think that this is going to be like, hey, everybody's a quick millionaire from it. It can give you the option. You never know. Just like people didn't know what Pepe was, just like people didn't know what SHIB was, just like people didn't know what a Dogecoin was. It gives you the option, and people will continue to say, hey, this will run, this will run, this will run until it actually does. And then people start talking about the fact that it's going to come back down. It's like, we told you that it's going to run. You could have been a part of this. And then when you're not a part of it and it gets all the way up to a high, you're like, oh, well, it's just going to come back down. It's not going to be worth billions of dollars. Well, Dogecoin is still worth billions of dollars. Shiba Inu is still worth billions of dollars. It still has a community that believes in it. So for all the people that just speak negatively about crypto in general or about any project that any person brings up, it's okay. I understand you're hurting somewhere, somehow. I've missed out on positions too. And if you miss out on positions, you just want attention. And that attention is short-lived because once you get that attention that you want, you have to move on to the next person because this person right here burns the bridge, right? You're burning that bridge, to having any type of conversation with me because you don't see any other side. I see what side you're coming from. I'm not saying that it's absolutely going to be the best thing since sliced bread. I'm saying that there's an opportunity. And opportunity means much more to a lot of people. Just like how some people believe in God, God will give you the opportunity. It doesn't give you what you want. It'll give you the opportunity to do so. You're like, hey, can I wake up with money, or can I wake up and, be healthier, be thinner? He gives you the opportunity. First of all, you woke up, right? You have the opportunity to do whatever the hell you want after you wake up. And that's that opportunity that you need, right? And, that's what we have here. We have the opportunity to do so. It doesn't mean that it's going to be a millionaire play for you. It could be, it could not. But if you could find the opportunity in gaining something, I mean, it should mean a lot more to you. So what is so special about Elmo, or is it just another copy and paste with a different meme image? So no. So for Elmo, what makes it special and why I thought it was very, very interesting and why I decided that I wanted to partner with it so bad is because they do everything that I wanted a position to do. They have a little bit of popularity. They have a team that's looking towards going more towards exchanges than utility, because utility, yes, is the future, but it's not the now. So they have that, but then they also have a burn tax to make it very deflationary. And if you have something that is a deflationary position, it decreases the supply to increase the ceiling, increase the price potential. So while you're looking at maybe a $10 million market cap here, and it's worth $10 million, you're like, all right, can it grow a little bit further? Yeah, it probably can in the market cap. But if we see the supply come down to $10 million or 10 million supply, well, now $10 million market cap and 10 million supply equals a $1 price point. So the market cap stays the same, supply comes down, price goes up. That's how that works. Because it's worth that based on what the project is, right? How many people are invested into the project. And if people start to sell based on that project going up, then you also have more burning, essentially doing the same thing over and over again. I missed out on ApeCoin, and that one still hurts. Yeah, I missed out on a lot of projects. I missed out on Pepe. Someone told me about it when it was at $60 million market cap. I looked at it and reviewed it when it was $100 million. And honestly, I wanted to see a retracement before I made a move into it, and it did not retrace. It just ran, right? I missed out on that. I'm okay with it. I've missed out on a lot of positions, but I was able to capture a gain with Terra Luna Classic. I was able to capture a gain with Lunatics token. I was able to capture a gain with a lot of positions that I'm not feeling like I miss out on everything. You know, I know that I have a strategy to catch some, but I do miss some, and you have to live with it. If you harp on those, you're never going to be able to live with yourself investing. You're never going to be comfortable with it. Sounds like Jay keeps buying the top. How many tokens are in the team wallets, and are they able to cash out quickly? And how does Elmo compare to other projects? So I've seen no project that really does this when it comes to burning and having the popularity there. There are some projects that do have a burning feature, but just don't have the community behind it. And, you know, popularity really leads everything. When it comes to the team tokens, I believe they have 1%, around 1%. Some of them have lower than 1%. But 1% is around 4 million coins, which as the overall supply goes down, their value goes up. So that's something that I was trying to get over to them and say, are you looking to self-dilute your position in order to make sure you're still holding only 1%? Because if it gets down to the point where you have 10 million coins available and you have 4 million in your wallet alone, you hold 40%, it will not look good to anybody. So make sure that you self-dilute. And that's really the only really concern that I do have there is that they see the opportunity there, and that may be a form of greed in a way, but I do trust what they're saying. I don't know them specifically, but I do know some of them from, or one of them from, Lunatics token. So seeing that Lunatics token is was a major part in how much transparency goes there, it makes me feel a little bit more free, I guess, or it makes me feel good about who that person is, but I don't know everybody. That's the issue, is that you don't know everybody and what they're going to do. So it's nothing like crazy, but it is something that I see as a huge opportunity that could be a lot bigger depending on how many people come into it, the volume that we see on a daily basis, the different exchanges that hopefully offer a 10% sell tax on it. The difference with this one and a lot of other ones is you had a buy and sell tax. This doesn't penalize the buyers, but it penalizes the sellers. So it incentivizes people to hold for a longer period of time while being able to see the other people that may see a higher price and wanting to sell, they end up sending 10% of whatever they sell to the dead wallet. Definitely makes my eyes get a bit squinty. Yeah, I hear you. I've squinted a couple of times during the AMAs, but I hope, and you can only hope, because we can keep asking and make sure we get the information for the transparency, and I'm sure that they will give it to us, because this project, I hate when people have a project that has a potential and they don't let it live its potential. They just give up on the project very soon, and I hate when people do that because there's so much potential in so many different plays, and whether it's worth billions or worth millions, especially if it's worth 10 million, like, you know where it can go from here. If it is something that's popular, it can go, the sky's the limit. And when he said, I don't need $100 million, I'm not greedy, big trust me. Yeah, I mean, you can say, I guess people usually say that to build a little bit of trust. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like, I don't need $100 million either, but I want $100 million. I would love $100 million. But the point that you want to make is, after that statement, you need to say, I wouldn't screw anybody over for $100 million. Like, I would never screw anyone over. I would rather you guys all make $1 million and me make $500,000. If I made $500,000 and that was going to give you all in the chat $1 million, I would do it hands down. Like, because that makes all of your lives a better situation, besides Jake, obviously. It makes all of your lives a better situation. And then, and then, and then, you know, we have more trust between each other, more trust between, you know, other people in the same industry. So, like, I've said this before, like, there's tons of times where I'm like, all right, well, Terra Luna Classic is at this price. I would rather you find the best place to make money in this area. I also don't want to have a high percentage so that I affect anybody. That's where that comes from, right? If I hold 1%, that's not really going to affect too much. If I sell 1%, then that's still something that could affect in a big way, for Elmo at least, right? But if I'm self-diluting to make sure I'm still holding 1% at all times, it's out of protection of all of the other investors that are involved in it. So, yeah, I've been telling people about Elmo for a while, but I'm new, and I started typing a bunch of stuff in my name, and now it says 14 days until I can make my name normal. Oh, you're talking about this one? Ben, Bambi, SpongeBob. So everyone thought I was a bot. 1 million is enough for financial freedom. Even a $500,000 or a quarter you need. So this is the thing, is like, there's a lot that you can do with a lower amount of money, and you don't need to sit here and accept or push for $100 million that you can gain. You can do so much with it. Most people, they can end up paying off their student loans. They can pay off their houses. They can get out of debt completely. And if you're out of debt completely, that is a win in anybody's book. It's not something where you won't work, or you won't, like, you can't stop working because you have $500,000, but you can pay off all your debt, do everything that you need to do. And obviously you're going to need to pay taxes on it. Hopefully it is long-term, not short-term. But you need to find a way to get past all the debt that you do have, whether it's good debt or bad debt. You get past all that debt, and now you just have standard bills, a lower cost of living for you. And then if you eventually wanted to sell your house or whatever you wanted to do, you can sell your house and, you know, go from there. But the point is that you don't need a hell of a lot of money in order to become, you know, free of debt, I would say. Not financially free in a way, but technically, if you have more money to put other places, you have a better ability to become more financially free and rely less on your 9 to 5 and go part-time or something. That 500K can buy a passive income business. It can, but I would suggest wiping out debt first. Debt is horrible, because if you have, let's say you have a house that's $200,000, you're going to be paying $150,000 in interest. And that's at a low rate. Right now with the interest rates, you'll be paying a hell of a lot more. No, my voice is starting to, I'm talking too much. I got to get out of here, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more videos like this one. It was fun talking to everybody except Jake. Yeah, make sure you guys check out some of my links down below. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the AMA. You want to check out Elmo, feel free to check it out. I would suggest that everybody, if you're going to invest into it, only invest money that you're willing to lose, because you never know what could happen. Honestly, you could see any bigger whales that buy this position, because it is at a low price, and then sell it, right? That's just how things work. But the point is that if they end up doing that, they burn down the supply, make the position a lot stronger. So it makes it better for you as a holder. So just make sure you're investing money that you're willing to lose, that you're not, you know, paying your rent with or your mortgage with, because you want to make sure that you're limiting your risk in any situation, whether it's this or whether it's Bitcoin. Limit your risk, find the best time to invest, and make profit as soon as possible, and build that cushion so that you can be comfortable as you do go. Like right now, I have a cushion with Elmo ERC, knowing that I had 3,000 and now it's worth about 5,000. So I have a cushion. But this was fun. My throat hurts, and I got to get out of here. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.